This is Miss Evie here. I'm not sure that you'll see my face, maybe a little bit. I'm more interested that you see the piano keyboard and do some little fun things to help you learn more about music theory and to get you ready to analyze a score by the end of our semester. I want you to find the two black keys in the center of your piano or keyboard, and just to the left of those two black keys is C, and we call this one middle C. And I want you to use your right hand in this fashion so that your thumb is moving more like this. I hope you can see that. And you're going to use your thumb like a little hammer on the side of it like this to play the C, then the D, E, and then you see that we're by the three black keys, and that's my F, and then G. And I want you to know that this G is the exact G on the treble clef, where the G clef sign is showing that the second line is line G. This is the very one that it is. So when I place my thumb on middle C and I use each finger, and I'll call my thumb number 1, then 2, then use my third finger, then my fourth finger, and then my fifth finger. Now, if you've never played a piano before, that could take a little bit of exercise. We're going to let them be quarter notes so that they just sound like the steady beat. And I'm going to count to 4 repeatedly as we would in a piece of music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last note that I played then is a whole note, and I counted 4 steady beats. Now let's see what it sounds like when I play some quarter notes, and then I move to eighth notes. Eighth notes will move twice as fast as the quarter notes, and you'll see how I count those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here come the eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's throw in some half notes. Half notes are half of a measure. So if I'm in 4/4 timing, half of a measure is 2 beats. So let's see what those sound like. I will do quarter notes first, then I will do half notes. That means they're a little longer, 2 beats. And then I'll do the eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hold 2, 3, 4. You can do the very same exercise with the left hand, and it will look something like this. Again, your thumb is moving in this fashion. Instead of finding middle C, I've gone to the 2 black keys to the left, and I'm using pinky, or we call it number 5, on C. This is on your bass clef. Quarter notes first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now half. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's do a pattern where you're going to really work your muscles, and it will also get you ready to play some of your favorite songs, especially if some of your favorite songs happen to be contemporary Christian music, because we use some of these patterns in many of those praise tunes. I want to do quarter notes forward and backward. And then I want to add my second finger and my pinky at the same time. See what that looks like? I have my thumb on C. I'm using my number 2 finger, and I'm using my pinky, and I'm playing all 3 keys at the very same time. And I'm going to call it C2 because my lowest tone is C. And then the characteristic I want you to define is that I'm using the second note higher than the C, added to that number 1. So I have the 1, and I put my 2, and just to make it sound pretty, and for some other reasons we'll learn about in the future, I'm going to use my pinky. Okay? So we're going to play the C with the 2 and the pinky, and all at the same time. And we're going to call it what? C2. Now I'm going to release it, and I'm going to play the thumb and my 4th finger and my pinky all at the same time. And I'm going to call it a 4th because that's the defining characteristic. But I'm also going to use another word that I want you to get familiar with. We're going to call it suspended. So suspended 4th. And now we're going to go back and play 3 more notes at the same time. It will be my thumb, my 3rd finger, and my 5th finger all at the same time. And this is called C chord. Now, let's see what it looks like when I make a little tune with it. I do my quarter notes. 1, 2. Now I'm going to make these half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, then a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what that sounds like again. And let me call out what those names are. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C2, C, suspended 4th, C. Now the left hand needs something to do. Because we're working with C chord and variations of C chords, the C2 and the C suspended 4th. And by the way, sometimes we just call it a C sus, just for short. And then a C chord. Because we're doing things with the key of C, the C chord in particular, I want you just to play a bass note C. And I'll let you use your pointer finger or number 2 just for now. That's the bass sound. So when we begin to do score analysis toward the end of the semester, you're going to hear us discuss figured bass. So this will help you to get ready for that. So we're going to use our C because we're doing what? We're describing notes around C chord. So it will sound like this. C2, C sus, C. I could do the same pattern with the G. Let's see where that is. If this is C, D, E, F, G, I'm going to put my thumb on G, and now I'm going to use G in the bass, and I'm finding my 3 black keys, and G is here, and I'm going to use my pinky. And I'm going to do the same pattern we just used on C chord. Except it's called G, G2, G sus, G. Same kind of pattern. Listen to it once again. G2, G sus, G. Now let's go back and do the C. See how my second finger's ready to play C, and I had to move my hand back to C. G2, I'm sorry, C. C2, C sus, C. And just for fun, we'll end it this way today. We'll find C chord. Remember what that looks like in the right hand? In the left hand, you would use your 5th finger or pinky on C, skip a finger, and put your thumb, and that is also C chord on the bass clef. And then we can play one note at a time. And let left hand jump the right hand and find C. Let's hear that one more time.